Good morning. It is a lovely day today. Well, I say lovely. It's quite sporadic weather. I went out on a walk this morning with Basil in my full outdoor PPE. I had raincoat, wellies, hood up. I literally pulled the strings on my hood so you could literally just see this much of my face because it was pouring with rain, and now it's actually quite sunny. But I have just got myself a little bit more presentable, and today I am going to be organising my wardrobe. Now, doing a seasonal wardrobe switchover is something that I have done for years, kind of without really realising, to be honest. When I lived at home with my mum, I would pack away all of my like seasonal things, like summer dresses, linen things, shorts, swimwear, like anything that was related to summer. I would pack away and store it under my bed, and then bring out like all my heavy knitwear and jackets and things that I didn't really wear during the summer. And I don't know why, but there's something about doing that that just feels so much clearer, and I just really enjoy being able to see exactly what I want to be wearing in my wardrobe around that time. So that's what we're going to do today. Jack put my clothing rail into the wardrobe. I wanted to add another one, so I've got a top and bottom hanging over the weekend, so I can finally move everything back in and pack away my summer bits. So I thought I would just do it with you, show you how I do it. It's so simple, and to be honest, I don't actually think it's going to take me that long, because I have really cultivated my wardrobe into pieces that I love and that I wear so much. And I feel like I've got to a stage now, after a good few years of trying to retrain my shopping habits, retrain my brain in terms of buying and accumulating clothes, and actually just focus on shopping my own wardrobe and picking up pieces that I'm missing in my wardrobe when I'm styling outfits and things like that. So we're in comfies today. I have this Varley sweatshirt on. It actually has a very high neck, which I don't know if anyone else finds this, but with high necks, I feel a bit claustrophobic when it's like that. So I just tuck it in a little bit. But this sweatshirt is so lovely. It is the softest fabric I can't even put into words. I am so in love with Varley. I feel like as a brand they are just creating pieces that are such incredible quality, but they still look really nice. They're not just like an old tracksuit, they still feel quite elevated. And this piece is one of them. It's got really lovely details, a zip at the side, ribbed hem and cuffs, and then I've got some very old leggings on. These are actually from Reese when they did like gym wear. I don't know if they still do gym wear, but I love these leggings because they're really tight and they're quite thick, so they're really warm. And then I have some Varley socks on as well. So very tonal outfit today, but I just wanted to be super comfy. And yeah, I feel like outfits like this tend to be what I wear most of the time, especially when I'm dog walking, in the garden, sat on my laptop. Stuff like this is just the comfiest. So I think what I'm going to do first is go and get all of my bags out of the cupboard in the bedroom, which is where I store, we have like eaves in the roof and we have these really big storage cupboards, which is very handy actually. For an old house, I feel like we have a lot of storage, which is very good. And those bags have got all of my autumn things in. So I'm gonna go and get those. I also have a wardrobe in the guest bedroom, which has all my coats in. And I'm thinking this year I'm gonna bring my coats into the wardrobe now that I have a bit more space, especially hanging space. And then I think that wardrobe I am going to use as my kind of like evening wear, party outfits, especially as we're coming into the season. I know that I've got a couple of things coming up, probably hosting something over Christmas, so there's lots of things where I'm gonna need evening wear, so I think it'll be quite nice to have that separate, and then I can see everything all at once. So these are the bags that I use to store everything in. I actually bought these when we lived in our old apartment, because we didn't have much storage and our wardrobes were so small, so I was very strict on packing stuff away, and these came in so handy. And I really like them because they're cotton, So the best thing about them is, firstly, they're really big, but also you can actually pack so much more in these than you can in like a plastic rigid box, because you can just really stuff them in and like roll everything really small. They're only from Amazon, I will link them below, but they're just so handy. I use them for all sorts of things, especially when we moved house. They were really good. I did actually have a look in these the other day, which you would have seen on the vlog, just to get a couple of bits out, and I forgot about so many things that I love. I feel like this is the fun part of packing your clothes away. When it comes around to the new season, you almost feel like you have bought all of this new stuff, but actually you've already got it. You're shopping your own wardrobe. So 2 things that I forgot I loved so much are my Holland Cooper cable knit roll necks. I wore these to death last year. I think I wore these every day. They are just the best. So I've got a chocolate brown and a navy, and I think this year I may pick up a couple of lighter colours, maybe like a cream or like a camel colour, because I absolutely adore these. I wear them so much, so they will get hung up. I've also got some really good tailored trousers in here, some grey wool wide leg trousers that I got from Zara a good long time ago now, and I love wearing these when I'm doing like work from home days and I just want to be really comfy. Same with these ones, which I believe are from Lily Silk. This lovely check, really easy to wear with just like a black roll neck, and you feel a little bit smarter. And then I have my trusty collection of Novo bodysuits. These are the cashmere bodysuits. I honestly, every time it comes around to this year, you must get sick of me talking about these, because I just love them so much. I've had these for years now, and I think I've got about 3 of each colour, because they just are the best. They are such good layering pieces. They are so soft. I took these skiing and they were a godsend. I didn't need any thermals. I literally just had these on, and oh, they're so good. I love wearing these underneath thick jumpers, especially when it's freezing cold. Oh, I forgot about this dress. This is a navy dress from M&M that I absolutely love. I've had this for a couple of years and it's so beautiful. It's just a navy, almost like a thick jersey material. It's got pockets, it's got lovely gold buttons, and it's kind of like a shirt dress, I guess. But I love this. It's so flattering and so easy to wear. I tend to wear this quite a lot when we're hosting at home and I just want to chuck like ballet flats or bare feet, because it just looks so nice. Got some knitted jumpers. This is a Novo one. Cable knits, just like all those big chunky fabrics. And other stories, another Novo one, Lily Silk. Right, so that's got all my really chunky knits in. And then I also have a little selection of leather shorts, because I love leather shorts with tights. I've got a couple of little skirts. This one is so cute. I love this, from Under the Stories. It's tweed, kind of like a tweed fabric. I think this is so sweet with tights and boots, kind of like Gossip Girl outfit vibes. And this dress, which I got last Christmas, and I wore this for our Friendsmas dinner. This is from Anne Louise Boutique, which is such a beautiful dress and like occasion wear brand. This is stunning, chocolate brown, high neck, long sleeve, super slinky maxi dress. This is beautiful, and I will definitely be wearing this again over Christmas hosting period. And then in the final bag, I think I've got jackets. I've got my tweed blazer, which is from Forever New, black tweed blazer. I have a classic black blazer. This is Zara. This is my favourite evening blazer because it's got sparkly buttons. I love that jacket. Does anybody else like associate memories with their clothes? Because that blazer, that black one with the sparkly buttons, I've worn that on so many date nights Jack and I used to have in London. When we didn't live together, we obviously both lived at home. We would go out and do stuff all the time just because we didn't want to be sat in our family homes. So we would often go to London, stay up in London, go out for the day, go out for dinner, and that blazer I honestly wore every single time because it just felt like a little bit more evening and so smart. I then have some of my capes. I got these last year from Caramillan and I absolutely love them. I cannot wait till it's a little bit colder so I can start wearing these. So I have a black one, and then I also have a gorgeous burgundy one, which I love. If you've watched my vlogs for a little while, you might remember these from last year. This one I love. It's so Christmassy. It just feels so wintry and lovely, and I just think a cape is so beautiful. So I've emptied out my bags, and then what I'm going to do is refill my bags with the summer things. So I'm going to start with dresses first so that I can clear out that wardrobe. Actually no, I'm going to do shorts first, because shorts are literally in this drawer right down here. So I'm going to keep my tweed burgundy shorts in there, but everything that's like linen, cotton, denim shorts, like anything like that that I know that I'm not going to be wearing can be packed away. If we were to be going on a hot holiday over the winter, which I haven't actually done since I was a child, I would love to do that, but we are not this year. But if we were, I can very easily get my bags and like lay everything out in my bags and see it all. So it's still super easy. It's not that it's completely stored away, it's not vacuum packed. I can still access it if I need to, but 9 times out of 10 I don't really need to. I didn't realise I had this many shorts, honestly. The only things that I have in this drawer now are 2 slip skirts, a chocolate brown one and a black, and then some really basic dresses that can go like underneath things from Organic Basics. So this is how my shorts and skirts drawer is looking. I've got everything rolled nicely, and then these are just some basic dresses that I use to put under things in the bottom drawer. Right, this is where all of my dresses are. This is a long hanging section of my wardrobes, and then at the top I've got bikinis, hats and like summery things. So what I'm going to do is actually take out anything that I am going to keep. So things like this Shona Joy dress I always keep, because I've actually worn this to a winter wedding once, and it looked really beautiful, and I had so many comments on it, so I feel like that's a good thing to keep. Also this Lily silk dress, because it's knitted, so although it's off the shoulder, I think I could still style this up for like more autumn winter. I always tend to keep this dress out in my wardrobe. It's just a long sleeve ribbed knitted maxi dress with little cutout bits, but this is such a good one if we are going to like a dinner party, or if I'm hosting something and it's a little bit fancier. This is so good to wear because it's really warm. I don't really need to wear heels with this if I'm just like barefoot at home, and it looks gorgeous, so I'm going to keep this one. And then finally this Caramellin dress, which I actually still haven't had a chance to wear. I was going to wear this in France, but I didn't really get an opportunity. So I'm going to keep this out in my wardrobe. I actually have a charity ball coming up in November, which we go to every single year, and I feel like I might wear this year. I'm not sure if it's the right thing, but I really love it and I want to get an opportunity to wear it. I feel like this could be quite a nice black tie dress, so I'm going to keep this in my wardrobe because it'll come in handy. Everything else that's left in the wardrobe is very summery, so all of this will be packed away. I'm just going to roll it and fold it neatly into my bags. And I'll try and organise it so I've got like anything that's more evening wear, I'll put in one of the bags, and then anything that's like really just super summery daytime, I put in the other, just so it's a little bit organised. Cue the time lapse. This room is absolute chaos right now, but I have successfully packed down all of my summer stuff. So I've got a basket bag, and then any like expensive shoes in dust bags, and then everything. I've got 2 bags of dresses, 1 bag of shorts and hats and like other summer shoes. So that is everything to go in the cupboard, which is amazing. And then I also have this little box which has just got bikinis and like swim cover-ups and like pool kind of things. This is more like proper holiday or like very hot days in the UK. So that's looking good. The wardrobe is also looking very empty, which is brilliant. Really pleased about that. I still need to do a big sort out of all of my shoes and bags and things like that, which I will do today as well. So this is obviously long hanging. I think this is going to be for all of my coats. Coats are all organised. I've got some really gorgeous coats that I forgot about. This one in particular I've had for years, and other stories, like brushed, it was like mohair tailored coat. I love this. And I have a new edition, which is this one from Rails. I love this so much. The pattern is beautiful. I love the mix of chocolate and black. I think that's really lovely. I've got my totem jacket, which is just my pride and joy. A couple of other little pieces in here. I've also rearranged my shoes. So down here I've got some extra knee-high boots. This is kind of like my neutral shoe side. So Uggs, trainers, loafers, things that are a little bit lighter in colour. And then I've actually just put my Louis Vuitton bag up here. This is my little vintage holdall bag. I don't really need anything extra up here at the moment. It's time to tackle this section and also tackle this. So I'm gonna get this all on hangers and file it all away and just get it all organised nicely and efficiently. Moving on to the second part of my wardrobe. This is where I have all of my jumpers, cardigans, shirts, tops. I'm going to also have all of my blazers and jackets in here. So right now I've just moved everything from the top to the bottom and organised it a little bit so I can see exactly what I've got. I've taken out a couple of summery tops and like linen shirts, and also a couple of things that I think I'm going to say goodbye to. And this is what I've got. So I've just laid it out in colour and in sections so I can see everything. And then I need to bring in all of my blazers and jackets because they are actually still in a bag. But I just can't decide how to lay this out. I don't know whether to do what I usually do, which is what I've done here, where I just arrange things in colour and the style. So I'll have like all my shirts together and they'll go from light to dark. Then I'll have all of my jumpers together, light to dark. But something in me is kind of thinking maybe I should do them grouped by colour and have like all of the khakis and browns together, like jackets, shirts, everything. Then do the same with like neutrals and then blacks and navies. I don't know. I don't know whether to try that and see how it is. I'm not sure. I mean, I can always change it, obviously. But I don't know how practical that's actually going to be for me, because I feel like I'm just rambling on because I'm procrastinating, because I've got to that point in the organising where the room is a mess and I need to put it all back together. This is the most attention-seeking boy I've ever met in my life. He just wants cuddles and kisses all the time. He loves having cuddles like this. He puts his arms around my neck and just licks my whole face. Don't you? It's so nice. So lovely. Oh, what are you like? What are we going to do with you? Are your teeth sore today? Should we go find your bone? Where is it? Right, I thought I would give you a finished look at the wardrobes just to finish off. So I have just done a little bit of styling up on my shelves. If I start at the top, I've got some black bags, black heels, and then I decided to lay out my loafers like this because my shelves are quite shallow. I wanted them to be able to fit into this gap quite flush, so they're very shallow. Which means I can't actually have any shoes facing this way because they stick over the edge. So they either have to be sideways or I can lay them out like this, which I don't know if it looks a bit strange or not. I have left a couple of gaps because I've ordered a couple of new pieces for this season, which I'm really excited to add in. But I've got my Zara boots, Carolina Herrera bag, then I've just added a couple of jumpers on here because I feel like it looks quite nice. It just adds to the styling. I've also switched out some of my fragrances to my more like winter ones. Jo Malone Marin Tonka is one of my favourites. I recently received this fragrance which smells amazing, and then these ones are kind of just like my evening holy grail scents that I've had for years now. Flattered ballet pumps, and then I just have these 2 bags on here. This one doesn't really fit in here, it's probably better down here, but I really wanted to have my knee-high boots on the shelf. And I did measure the height of this to my biggest bag, which is this one, and also my knee-high boots, and it is perfection. I also just added some of these little bits of tissue paper that is inside other shoes that I've bought. I always keep the shoe boxes, and I don't know why. I think I need to get rid of them, to be honest, but it's come in handy because I've used all of these like long rolled up pieces of tissue that you get inside your shoes to allow my boots to stand up nicely. So that works really well. And I'm really loving how this is looking. I just feel like it's a real autumnal collection of things, and it feels quite inspiring. So I have some new shoes that I've ordered that I'm going to be adding onto the shelf somewhere. And I also have another pair of knee-high boots downstairs, which I might bring in. But I'll just show you in this wardrobe. So this is my coats, and I'm so happy with how these fit in here. I love the fact that I actually have quite a nice bit of space at the bottom so I can see my shoes. In my last wardrobes in the apartment and in my family home, the ceilings weren't as high as this, so I actually couldn't see anything on the floor, and this is so much better. And then I've just got my holdall at the top. And then if we come over on this side, I have got all of my tops, shirts, jumpers, cardigans, and jackets are in here. So I've kind of done it by colour, but I've left out the jackets. I think it's just going to work better for me if I have all of my blazers and jackets together. Just when I'm getting ready, when I'm styling outfits, filming videos, it's so much easier to just be able to grab a jacket rather than filtering through everything. And I've laid it out by colour, so I've got all of my jumpers and shirts in colour order. So we've got all of the blues here, I've got navies and blacks here, and then at the top I've got kind of like earthy tones like khakis and burgundies, browns, and then into the neutrals and the creams. And I actually have so much space still in here. These wardrobes are really big. Someone did actually suggest that I should take this panel out and fit another door. I would love to do that, but this is all been built. This is actually all one panel, kind of all the way up. So I think it would be a bit of a mess if I did that. And to be honest, it's fine. I think I can put things at the back in these bits that I don't wear loads, like more occasion wear pieces or whatever. So I'm not too worried, but I also have a nice bit of space down here for darker coloured shoes. And then I've kind of shoes on here that I reach for regularly, but they're also all of the same kind of tones, just because I wanted these shelves to be almost like my mood board for the season, kind of like a Pinterest board, but on my shelves, and I love it. I'm so happy with it. It is now the next day, and I am about to close off this vlog. I'm very aware that it's quite short. I thought that this video was going to be really long and it was going to take me ages to organise everything, but I've done it very quickly. I'm also wearing my Holland Cooper chocolate came on it because as soon as I got it out, I was like, oh, I want to wear it again. Even though it's not actually that cold today, but I can just wear this without a coat. Anyway, before I sign off the vlog, I wanted to share with you some of my wardrobe like maintenance must-haves, because I was sorting through all of this stuff yesterday and I feel like it's very handy information. If you don't already have these things, I use these very regularly and I think they're really good for maintaining your clothes. I think when you look after your clothes, they last longer. You don't feel like you need to replace something, and you can almost just increase the longevity of your items. So first thing is a steamer. I am definitely somebody that will iron my clothes. I love an iron and an ironing board. Quite traditional because I feel like a lot of people don't iron anymore, but for me it's just the quickest and easiest way to get creases out of shirts and jeans and things that get quite creased when they're in the washing machine. So I do iron my clothes, but having a steamer in the dressing room is so handy, especially for things like silk skirts that I have in drawers. They get ridiculously creased, so I always just need to give them a quick once over. Things like tailored trousers, I have those in drawers, so they do tend to get creased. And even things like shirts. Sometimes I will wear a shirt for literally a couple of hours when I'm popping out or when I'm filming content, so I don't need to wash it, but it does get quite creased, especially when I layer it with a jumper. So having the steamer in here is amazing. This one is from Steamery Stockholm. They do some very beautiful steamers. It looks lovely. It's very minimalist and very chic. But I would say that this steamer is probably best if you're only steaming a couple of things. I think if you're wanting to use a steamer in replacement for an iron and you're steaming very deep creases, this isn't the best. And also it doesn't last that long because the water filter section is tiny. So if you're steaming a lot of things at once, you do have to fill this up quite regularly. But saying that, this does the job for me. I can fill this up once and steam all the things I need to steam if the time comes. And it's also beautiful, and they do loads of colours, so I will link this below. And then secondly is a lint roller. I do have two. One of them is downstairs, which is just a classic sticky, you know, like the sticky roll, lint roller. But I have this, which is ridiculously old. This is actually my grandma's. My grandma passed away when I was about 11, but my mum took this from some of her things that she was taking from her house, and this was one of them, and my mum actually gave it to me when I moved out. This is the most genius product ever. I'm assuming they sell these on Amazon. I mean, it's pretty simple, but essentially it's a lint roller, but it's basically like this felt, almost like a Velcro-y kind of fabric, and you can flick this switch and it changes the direction of it. So I can literally just go over my coats really quickly. It gets off like any small bubbles, it gets off fur, any hairs, any like little bits of stuff. Especially now we have Basil, I feel like I'm using this all the time because his fur is quite light. So now it's winter and I'm wearing a lot of dark colours, I need this all the time. It's amazing for coats, anything. This is my holy grail clothing upkeep maintenance product. I love it, it's so good. And then you can just empty the filter at the back. I haven't emptied this for a while, and look at this. This is, I'm gonna empty it now so I can show you. It's so satisfying. So you open up this little pouch at the back, and all of the fluff that you've collected gets almost like compressed into this tiny little pouch like this. Look at that. Put that in my bin. Anyway, I just think this is brilliant and a must have, and for me this is so much better than a plastic like sticky back lint roller, because firstly you're not wasting all the paper all the time, and secondly you don't need to buy any paper, you've just got the whole thing here. So I love this. I then also have a couple of debubblers. I find that a lot of my knitwear does get really bobbly. I think it's just from wearing coats over things, and I tend to wear the same knitwear pieces for years, so they get a lot of wear. I tend to wear them every single day. So a debobbler for me is quite essential. I will tend to do this maybe like once or twice in a season. I have two. I have one from Steamery Stockholm, which I really love. I think this is really good. My only thing that I don't love is where it collects the fluff. It's not that practical for when you're doing a lot of stuff. So this would be really good if I was just, it's actually ran out of battery, but if I just wanted to quickly debobble a little area on a jumper or on a coat, like before I'm going out, this is great. But it's not very long lasting because you have to keep taking all the fluff out because it stops working, like the motor can't go around. So I actually ordered this one from Amazon, which is a lot better in terms of debobbling lots of things, because the section where it collects all the bobbles is a lot bigger and it's separate to the actual motor. This one is also ran on batteries, so you don't need to charge it up, which I find a lot better because I tend to find that I forget to charge this and it's ran out, so literally like now. But this works really well. Also, if you haven't debobbled any of your knitwear before, it doesn't harm your knitwear in any way, shape or form. It's so soft. I've actually seen a few TikToks of people using razors on their knitwear, which firstly I think is hilarious and actually a really good idea, but it could potentially damage a very expensive cashmere knitted jumper that you've spent a lot of money on. And something like this is a lot safer because it has that really soft guard. So it's literally just touching the surface and taking it off the top layer, and it works very well. So definitely recommend a debobbler as well. And then the final thing I have in my like clothing kit is Wonderweb. I have so much of this, I don't know why, but Wonderweb for me is a holy grail, especially when I'm buying new trousers. I find all the time that trousers are way too long for me and I constantly need to take them up. I have taken my trousers to the tailor's a few times, but it just takes so long, and often I want to quickly take them up and then wear them. So all you do is take a little strip, lay it onto the bit that you want to hem, fold it up and iron it, and basically the heat from the iron manipulates the Wonderweb fabric and turns it sticky, and then it holds. Also, a really good thing about Wonderweb is you can unpick it. It does leave residue and your trousers will not be perfect afterwards, so definitely take your time when you're doing it. Keep trying them on, like pin them, make sure they're right, but you can unpick them if you need to. It's not like it's stitched up or anything, and I love it, and I just get mine on Amazon and it's the best. So anyway, I'm gonna end the vlog. I just thought I'd quickly share those bits because I find them really useful and really practical, and they work so well in conjunction with the way that I want to use my wardrobe and look after my clothes and invest a little bit more money on certain pieces that are staple items, and I want to care for them so they don't get ruined. So I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my little autumn wardrobe refresh, and I will be back on Monday with a brand new vlog, and actually a very nice vlog. I'm very excited for some elements in this vlog. So I will see you then.